Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. And Sarah Chevrolet has added Cuero to its family. A man is in jail on aggravated sexual assault of a child charges. And copper thieves were caught on camera in Garland following an alarming trend.
Another hot, brutal day. We made it up to 102. That was our record high today. Look at that, 102 in Houston, 104 in Corpus, 106 in San Antonio. There's going to be a change by the time we get to the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up in a moment.
And Goliad football, they're prepared to have a big season this upcoming year. I'll have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. This is an alert day. Now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warning Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. And Mac, this National Weather Service warning for heat is not just Victoria County, it's about every county you can think of.
Pretty much. I mean, look at the temperatures around the region. You know, from us by the coast, you think we'd be a little cooler. 104 in Waco, 106 San Antonio, 110 out in San Angelo, 111 in Abilene. I mean, this is just brutal heat all over the entire state of Texas. Now, that's because we have high pressure on top of us. There's a good opportunity for us to get some low pressure coming in from the Gulf, and that's going to give us a chance to get some clouds going and maybe a little rain shower activity as we get to the weekend. We'll talk more about that, but for the time being, we continue with the heat advisories for today. Actually, it's the excessive heat warning for today and probably again for tomorrow. More on your weather and the change in the weather coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, we'll toss it back to Don.
Mac, thank you. And here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote. Here's the question. Excuse me. Have the extreme temperatures affected your daily routine? Yes or no? Well, so far, 54% of the voters say yes, 46% say no. It is a close vote. And we want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we will have an answer on 25 News Now after the Democratic National Convention. The city of Cuero has started 2 cooling centers that are open through Friday. One is at the Cuero Public Library, 207 East Main Street from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The other is at the Cuero Fire Department, 219 East Main Street from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Victoria police arrested a 26-year-old man today. Excuse me. Jeremy Villarreal of Victoria faces 4 charges, including aggravated sexual assault of a child. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $76,350 bond. A man arrested by Lavaca County deputies last January will appear in district court Thursday. 20-year-old Jesus Mendiola from Buda is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. On January 1st, a man was beaten and stabbed by 3 men near Moulton. Another man arrested then, 23-year-old Miguel Mendiola of Buda, is still in the Lavaca County Jail. Bond is set for both of them at $75,000 each. They are also both held on an ICE immigration detainer. The city of Cuero welcomed a new business this morning with a grand opening, and Sarah Partner Chevrolet has wanted to join Cuero for almost a decade, and today that dream came true. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting has the story. Trenton?
Thanks, Don. And Sarah is one of the most successful vehicle dealers in Texas. They got their start 52 years ago, and today they made their mark in Cuero.
Go. Go. Okay.
Cuero welcomes the Ancira family's GMC dealership with a grand opening. Ernesto Ancira himself says how appealing the location was for their business.
It just is an area that has a lot of prosperity in its future. So we wanted to be here. And fortunately, we finally were able to put the right numbers together, and we're glad to be here.
Notable members of the community like the mayor and the Chamber of Commerce were present, but Ancira says that the most important people to their day-to-day operations are the workers.
They're the ones that are responsible for doing the job for the community. And my experience so far is we made the right move.
Food, drinks, and cake were served in one of the Ancira Partners' biggest ever ribbon-cutting events.
This is a significant amount of people to come out to the opening of a new store. We've had plenty of ribbon cuttings. We've been blessed at Ancira, and I'm not sure I've ever seen this amount of participation. I really feel like their arms are wrapped around us, so look forward to giving back to them too.
The building and workers were carried over from the previous dealership, as Ancira hopes to keep a strong relationship with the community.
It's amazing, and I kind of compared it to Mayberry, where everybody knows each other, everybody loves each other, everybody's nice to each other, and it's just a great atmosphere, and everybody's been very welcoming.
The location has been open since May, but today, the Ancira partners received a hearty welcome from Cuero. Ancira has more than 800 employees at 13 dealerships in 7 cities, from Laredo to Floresville, and now right here in Cuero. Don, back to you.
Trenton, thank you. Victoria police arrested a 22-year-old man today. Seth Butler of Victoria faces a charge of assault causing bodily injury to a family member, violence impeding breath, from Fort Bend County. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $50,000 bond. Police in North Texas are seeing a disturbing trend. Copper thieves risking their lives to steal utility lines and leaving residents without internet.
These criminals, they don't care about anything other than themselves.
Bold, brazen, that's one way to describe it. But it is dangerous, potentially deadly. Garland police shared these images of a sudden surge in copper thieves going to great heights.
These cables that are 20, 30 feet above their head, if they cut the wrong cable, they could likely die.
To steal utility lines.
And they're doing it in broad daylight in front of the public.
That's New Wire up there because this intersection got hit just a couple of weeks ago. Police say it was 6 o'clock on a Wednesday night when someone parked a U-Haul trailer out here and blocked a lane of traffic. They were loading that U-Haul with the stolen copper cable from up there. They got caught after a police pursuit.
Stop stealing stuff that doesn't belong to you.
This woman lives in Northwest Dallas. Her neighborhood's been hit.
The thieves are back.
Multiple times. It's happened in Fort Worth, Arlington. This video came from a man who lives in southern Dallas's Redbird neighborhood. That's another suspect posing as a worker. Each crime leaves customers without internet and costs providers thousands of dollars.
No, this is not one huge organized crime syndicate. This is individual people committing these types of crimes, and they're doing it right in front of us.
Police say they don't know what started the spike. They do know it needs to stop. In Garland, I'm Teresa Woodard.
There's a town hall set for this Thursday at 6:30 in Bloomington to discuss a nonprofit's plan to incorporate parts of Bloomington as the Village of Bloomington. The nonprofit wanted it on the ballot this November, but the 13th Court of Appeals ruled the group had not met the requirements to have the Victoria County Commissioners Court call for an election. This meeting is at 13316 State Highway 185 in Bloomington. The Salvation Army of Victoria Life Enrichment Center is staying busy this summer. 48 clients attended 2 free medical clinics there in June and July. The DTAR residency program provided the doctors. Methodist Health Care Ministries provided the nurses. The Texas A&M Extension Service hosted classes in cooking well and handling stress. PAM Health will host classes at the Life Enrichment Center on the dangers of vaping. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Way. The Calhoun County ISD Board of Trustees is set to adopt its budget and tax rate during its regular August 29th meeting. And the Calhoun County Commissioners Court proposed an award for a bid regarding a new playground. You can read these stories and more at the PortLavacaWave.com. We'll be right back. Tuesday, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's Election Integrity Unit executed multiple search warrants in 3 Texas counties. The search warrants in Frio, Atascosa, and Bexar counties are part of an investigation. Paxton's office is looking into organizations operating in Texas that may be unlawfully registering non-citizens to vote in violation of state and federal law. Undercover operations found nonprofit organizations offering to help in voter registration near driver's license offices. Thousands of people are on the move again after the Israel Defense Forces reissued evacuation orders for parts of southern Gaza. Israeli tank and drone strikes in Gaza killed at least 17 people. Hospital staff and Associated Press journalists counted the bodies. Lebanon's Hezbollah on Wednesday launched more than 50 rockets, hitting a number of private homes in the Israeli-annexed Golan Heights. Hezbollah said the attack was in response to an Israeli strike deep into Lebanon on Tuesday night. A Mississippi inmate wanted in Harris County barricaded himself inside of a Chicago restaurant near the Democratic National Convention Tuesday. Joshua Zimmerman is now in custody after escaping from a Northwest Mississippi courthouse June 14th. Zimmerman has a warrant for his arrest in Harris County for murder. It's not clear how he traveled to Chicago. U.S. Marshals say Zimmerman is wanted in Mississippi for murder and armed robbery. Chicago police said more charges are pending. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. The city is urged to defund Cuero Municipal Airport. And the community brings bullying concerns to the Cuero ISD board. You can read these stories and more at the DeWittCountyToday.com.
Well, we're looking for more heat, at least one more day of triple digits. But then, as I've been mentioning, we're optimistic that things will get a whole lot better by the time we get to the weekend. We'll have all that coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned. Another scorcher out there, I'm sure you'll agree. I mean, it was kind of like an oven. We're looking at 100 degrees even as we speak. We managed to get up to 102 this afternoon, just like I promised you. We got up there about 4 o'clock. We actually hit 100 right at about noontime, and then it just went up higher and higher. Average temperature this time of the year should be about 95, but you know, we don't do anything average. These are the high temperatures that I've been able to catch across the state today. Look at that, 102 in Houston, 104 in Corpus Christi, and then 111 out in Abilene, far west Texas, where it must be blazing out there. Now, the hot weather is going to be with us for one more day, but I do hope that over the weekend things will change up a little bit for us. The excessive heat warning, which we had today, that's because of the heat and the humidity combined to make it very dangerous out there. Now, as we've been talking, you've got to be, whatever you're doing is good. Don't overdo it. Take it easy. Middle part of the day is not worth being out there. Heat advisories all the way up into the Oklahoma area and of course the Panhandle as well. These are the forecast highs for tomorrow, so we're still going to be in triple digits. Inland areas, everybody's going to stay in the triple digits, but coastal areas will get a slight break, and I'm talking that much. And as we mentioned yesterday, I mean, heat exhaustion and heat stroke are two different things. Heat exhaustion, you get a little dizzy, you start, get feeling faint, you start perspiring a lot, but we can cool you down here, but in a heat stroke, you're really confused and you're getting very dizzy, and this is when you pass out, when you go unconscious, and that's a medical emergency, and that's when they take you in and they dump ice all over you and cool you down because they got to get your internal organs. My friend heard me talk about the dog days of summer, so he was out in the yard putting around, and he decided to build a dog house with an air conditioner in it. Pretty good idea, I thought. He says it's not cold. He says I keep it about 80 degrees, but at least it's comfortable for the puppy, or actually it's a big dog, but he's got a very unique, all he needs now is a margarita and he'd be in great shape. So anyway, the dome is of course the factor that is keeping us on the hot, brutal side of the heat. Now there's a little bit of a change as we get to the weekend. First, we've got the first northwest winter storm. Okay, it's not really winter, but it is a storm. And that is also going to allow lower pressure to develop and come under the big dome. This lower pressure allows the clouds to build up. This lower pressure will allow some shower activity to develop every day during the afternoon hours, and that is going to roll into the coastal bend. Yes, we're pretty excited. It's squeezing the dome. The dome's going to sort of flatten out. So down here for about 3 or 4 days. Now, if this stays more than 4 days, we're going to get some good rain. If it stays 1 or 2 days before it flattens out or thins out, it'll be nice, but it'll be better than what we've got right now. Tomorrow, no real change. I mean, we're still in the 90s. We will see a few more clouds tomorrow, a lot more by the time we get to the weekend. And what we're talking about an alert day tomorrow is because the heat index should get up to 114 tomorrow, and that's where you got to be careful. A little bit better over the beginning of the weekend, a little bit more cloud cover, and then beginning on Sunday, I do believe, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, about 3 days of daily afternoon showers. Now, this is not a huge storm by any stretch of imagination, but the atmosphere will be loose enough to see the clouds build and give us a little rain shower here or there, and at least get the temperatures back down into the mid-90s. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And here's Don.
Mac, thank you. Max Williams is here with the sports, and he's got a report on a really cool sport. And Max, we need cool right now.
We do. An indoor sport is nice right now for a lot of these teams, right? And the Cuero Lady Gobblers, they got a good win yesterday against the Industrial Cobras last night. I'll have that in sports. Stay with us. All right, everyone. So now today we're going to stay in 3A for our football preview with the Goliad Tigers. And they went 10-3 last season under their first-year head coach, Kevin Salazar, who took over the program just 4 years ago. And they were winless in district play with Goliad. They bring back a bunch of different, again, type of fantastic defense from last year. And they enter the year as projected top 10 team in Class 3, according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. And head coach Kevin Salazar likes both of his guys competing for that job. The Tigers, they were regional semifinalists last year and undefeated in district. Can they do it again?
I think it's just the confidence of, what we were able to accomplish last year. But, obviously we told our guys, last year was last year. This is a new year, new group of guys. We do have a lot of returners back. We've got really good depth at a lot of positions. And, we bring back a experienced offensive and defensive front. So, those are two good things to build upon on the offensive and defensive side, is establishing that front.
The Tigers are prepared to make a huge jump this season. They open up versus the East Bernard Brahmas on August 30th. And yesterday, the Cuero volleyball team, they welcome in the Industrial Ladies, and the Gobblers, they defended their home court, taking home the win in 4 sets, and the Gobblers won handily in set 1, 25-16. Industrial, they returned the favor in set 2, winning 25-19. And Cuero, they narrowly won the next sets, 25-23 and 25-22. But still, congrats to the Lady Gobblers. Now over to the MLB, the Houston Astros. They lost again tonight against the Boston Red Sox in Minute Maid Park. The Astros, they didn't really get the bats going today, and they only got 1 run in the game and from a solo shot from Alex Bregman in the first inning. But after that, Red Sox, they got some good production today from shortstop Zidane Fafilia, if I got that right there. 2 RBIs in the game with 2 doubles down the left field line in the game, both in the 2nd and 7th innings. And the Astros, they're going to need to regroup as they play the top-seeded Baltimore Orioles tomorrow night. So see if they can get back on track. Now heading up north, the Rangers, they walked off versus the Pittsburgh Pirates at Globe Life Field earlier today. Not much scoring, just like I said with the Astros, but only 1 run was needed because Andrew Henne for the Rangers threw 5 complete innings, recorded 8 Ks, and the rest of the bullpen did outstanding for the Rangers today. And left fielder Wyatt Langford hit the walk-off single to win the game, get a massive win for the Rangers. They travel to Cleveland on Friday to face the Guardians. And we end the show tonight with the Cowboys. They're making a lot of noise, as we can tell here in the offseason. They're trying to figure out what's going to happen with CeeDee Lamb. Is it contract extension? What's it going to be? Does he want to be the highest paid wide receiver? But Jerry Jones is saying in the media that the facts are still that I believe will come get something together. And man, hopefully we'll see if Jerry's words are accurate, because we'll see, because CeeDee Lamb's an important part for the Cowboys, Don, this upcoming season.
A very important part. All right, Max, thank you. And we're back in a moment. An emotional reunion with the man who helped save a 7-year-old girl from being kidnapped in Michigan last week. A 7-year-old girl had an emotional reunion with the man who helped save her from being kidnapped. The attack was caught on camera in Sterling Heights, Michigan last week. You'll be able to see, there it is, a man grabbed Olivia, the 7-year-old girl, and put her into his car. That girl's aunt ran and started fighting the man off when a Sterling Heights Citizens Patrol officer saw what was happening and jumped in and saved the day. The family had been trying to reconnect with that man, Scott Van Leuven, since the abduction attempt. They finally got back together with him, and well, there really isn't a present large enough to say thanks, but he did accept a t-shirt and superhero cookies. Very nice, I tell you. There's a good Samaritan right there. Just amazing how he stepped in there, because you don't know if a person has a gun or a knife or some kind of weapon there.
That's the eternal problem with getting involved, is you've got to hope for the best.
Yes.
Well, folks, we are looking, of course, at one more brutally hot day, and then there's a little bit of hope as we get to the weekend. I'm not saying it's going to cool down much, but it'll be a little better. And the beginning on Sunday, we do have a shot at daily afternoon showers, kind of like we had a little bit earlier this summer. So that will be nice. It's certainly a whole lot better than what we have for today and tomorrow.
Heat, and more heat, as you can see there. All right, hang in there, people. All right, Mac, thank you, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now after the Democratic National Convention. Stay cool, everybody.
Be cool.
It's